for taking time out of your schedule this morning to attend our Coffee Talk webinar. Today we will be talking about incentives for the small as well as the large size, medium sized commercial and industrial program. Today our focus will be on larger scale capital projects. Today your presenters will be myself, Miguel Thomas. I work with the Pepco program, Pepco Delmarva program, as a account executive, specializing in the multifamily sector, but also working with any customers in the commercial and industrial sector as well. And then I also have my counterpart, Cliff Madsen, who works with the small size business program, and he will give an introduction for himself in just a minute. Before we get started, we will go ahead and start with our safety message, and then after our safety message, we will review the agenda for the program. And after we review the agenda, we will go ahead and get into the presentation. So our safety message today is making sure you choose the correct ladder. We know now that it's the summertime. A lot of people are getting outside and doing household projects. You may be doing work on the car. You may be switching things out of the attic or just doing some things around the house. But here's some things to keep in mind when you are in terms of ladder safety. Make sure you take into the account the type of work you are going to be doing. Is it just some in-house work where you may just be painting a wall, or will you need a bigger, more sturdy, heavy-duty ladder if you're trying to reach the top of your roof, gutters, or change light bulbs and things of that nature? Also, you want to consider the length of your ladder. A safety tip for that is you should be able to reach the point in which you're on the ladder without having to step on the top 3 rungs of the ladder. So if you have to step on the top 3 rungs of the ladder to reach whatever it is that is above you, then you need to consider getting a larger ladder that's adequate to get the job done. And also make sure that you pay attention to the rating of the ladder. Some other safety things to keep in mind. It's always a good idea to have a spotter, even if you are doing something in the house. You want to make sure that your ladder is on stable, sturdy ground. And also, before you even use the ladder, you want to make sure that you inspect the ladder, make sure that none of the rungs are broken and that it is in proper working condition. So before you open up the ladder and step on it, make sure you do a quick safety check and always have a spotter or someone who is watching you, because just even a few feet from the air, someone is liable to have an accident and slip or have a trip or fall. So that's our safety message for the day. Make sure you're checking your environment, you're considering the ladder that you're using for the job, and that you also inspect the ladder. So for our agenda today, first we will start off with a brief overview of Empower Maryland. Then we will talk about energy efficiency incentives for specific projects. And then we will also go into a Q&A at the end. So the first part of the presentation, Empower Maryland. As some of you may know about Empower Maryland and some of you may not. So Empower Maryland is a legislative act that was passed in 2004 to improve the energy efficiency of the Maryland area by 15% by 2015. So fortunately, they were able to reduce the energy consumption by 15% in 2015. And each year after that, our goal is to reduce the demand on the grid and energy consumption by 2%. So how is that? How by ratepayers who make a small or large contribution into the program each month. So on the back of your utility bills, there is a line that says Empower Maryland, and that is where you as ratepayers pay into the program, and that is where funding for these programs are available. If you had, just to give you a brief background about Empower Maryland, and a part of that program is what Cliff and I and many others at the Pepco Delmarva teams is that we work with customers across the board in different sectors to find ways and to incentivize you all using energy efficient equipment in your businesses, whether that be a small or large size business. Empower Maryland started off in 2008, and it is still going strong now into 2023. So please, if you haven't taken advantage of the program, please do not hesitate to ask us for questions about Empower Maryland and how you can take advantage of it. Or if you know someone who has a business who hasn't taken advantage of Empower Maryland, this is a great opportunity for them to take advantage of those funds. I apologize for not advancing my screen. So here is the agenda. I just gave a brief overview of Empower Maryland, and then we will next get into some energy efficient specific projects so you guys can see how Empower Maryland incentives can be used throughout the community. And then we will also have a Q&A. So once again, this is just a brief overview of Empower Maryland, how it started in 2008 with a goal of 15% by 2015. We accomplished that goal. That goal has been met. And so each subsequent year, the goal is to reduce it by 2%. And the program is still going strong. So what is the impact of Empower Maryland throughout the community? One, job creation. A lot of service providers who we work with are able to hire more contractors, service providers, skilled tradesmen are able to hire more people on their team because some of them use the Empower Maryland program as part of their business model. Also, those businesses who do take advantage of it, who want to do larger capital projects, because they are able to do those projects, they are able to hire more people for their businesses. Also, it has a positive impact on the community because we are doing something good for the environment by reducing the demand on the power plants and our need for energy. And also the other big piece is financial savings. There are incentives available for projects, and then after those incentives, you receive those incentives because you have installed more energy efficient equipment. You're now seeing those gains on your utility bill by having a reduction in your utility bills because you're using less energy. So Empower Maryland is a great program that we always are spreading word about and looking for more people to join and participate in the program. So thank you so much for your time. And again, we'll get more into the program and specific case studies of where customers throughout different communities were able to use the Empower Maryland program. So next we will go over and we will talk about how can you get and take advantage of these incentives through the Empower Maryland program. And we will start off first with Cliff, who will present and talk about the small business program and its benefits and features, and also provide a specific example of how a customer was able to take advantage of the Empower Maryland incentives. Cliff, take it away. I think Cliff may be having some audio issues, so I will give an overview of the small business program program and some of the benefits and different programs for it. One of the first ones is the Quick Energy Checkup Program, which is a program that is geared towards small business owners who have a peak demand of 100 kW or less. If you have questions about which program that you qualify or fall into, you can certainly ask us a question at the end of the program, and we can find you the correct program that will best fit you. So this program is a great turnkey program where service providers will come in and propose different energy efficiency measures and projects. During this checkup, service providers will also install up to $250 worth of energy efficient devices at no cost. So if you are a small business and just want to get started and have a checkup or an analysis, a small analysis of your building and how you can save more energy, the Quick Energy Checkup Program is a great place to start. Again, a service provider will come in free of charge and install up to $250 worth of energy efficient devices at no additional cost to you, because as we discussed before with the Empower Maryland program, you already pay into it. And Cliff and his team are very knowledgeable of this program and how to take advantage of all of its benefits. Another advantage, also recognizing that some businesses do have challenges in with capital projects. There are different avenues for financing these projects if you want to do a project. So in order to take advantage of financing options, your program or the project must be at a minimum of $250,000, including labor and materials. And if you do have a project that qualifies, you can select interest-free payment options, whether that be six to 12 months or up to 24 months. So again, if you're thinking about a project and you know there's some equipment that has been in your building for a while and you want to go ahead and get it replaced, but paying for it up front may be of a concern, there are financing options for the program through the small business program. Again, the minimum project cost must be $2,500, and that must include materials and labor. And the payback periods, there are different arrangements, whether that be 6 to 12 months or 24 months. Okay, one specific project or a business that was able to take advantage of the small business program was a nonprofit, which is called Hope and Life Outreach, or HALO for short. And what they were able to do was they were able to take advantage of refrigeration incentives, lighting, as well as water heating incentives. So as an overview for the project, the total project cost was about $190,000. But because they were a small business and reached out and were working with Cliff and his team, they were able to receive incentives of about $135,000. So their overall out-of-pocket cost for almost a $200,000 project was about $54,000. So that's a pretty amazing incentive to cover more than half of the project. They were able to get refrigeration, lighting, as well as water heating. And these are all things that lead to the overall comfort of the building and also make it a bright, light, adequate space that customers are able to use. Some additional benefits, as we talked about early on before, is that one main goal of Empower Maryland is to reduce our consumption. So through these new measures that HALO installed, they will reduce their annual energy consumption by 244,000 kilowatts per year. And that's an annual savings on their energy bill of about $37,000 per year. So in addition to getting new equipment and receiving an incentive, they now will see a reduction in their yearly energy expenses because they're installing new equipment that uses less energy. And at the very top, we were able to do a customer spotlight, and they got a quote from the founder and CEO of HALO. And essentially, she said that the project, they were able to do awesome things and they don't have to worry about equipment failing them, and they will definitely participate in the program in the future, and it gives them peace of mind. So these are some of the great advantages of the Empower Maryland program and some of these projects that really hit home, where we are able to help local nonprofits. And, now because they don't have to worry about lighting or equipment failing them, they can focus on other efforts, such as doing what they were created and sought out to do when Celeste initially started this program. So this is one example of how a small business can take advantage of the Empower Maryland program and the different incentives that are available through the program, whether that be refrigeration. So let's say you have some refrigeration equipment in your facility that is dated, maybe doing that very loud hum that some equipment does. I know we had a refrigerator growing up that used to hum a lot. Or whether you have lighting that is flickering, it may not be as bright and clear. It may be give you a more yellow hue. You may want a more clear light, or even if water heating, if it's an electric water heater, that's definitely something that you will need. We can offer incentives for. So this is one example in a case study through the small business program of how the program can help in the different avenues. And again, by participating in the program, they were able to get more than 50% of their project covered. They received a total incentive of $135,000. So the opportunities, if you see opportunities in your building, they're there, and there are funds available if you have projects in mind. Okay, next we will talk about the medium and large size business. So we first covered the small size business, and now we will talk about our medium and large size businesses, which we also will consider or call you may hear some people refer to it as our commercial and industrial sector. So projects that can yield big results for our customers. So in addition to, much like the small business program, if there are incentives for lighting, refrigeration, and lots of different avenues you can go down through the program with energy efficiency. But one of the our bigger programs that a lot of customers participate in is our new construction and major renovation program. So what is new construction and major renovation? New construction and major renovation can be the building of an entire new facility from the ground up, or major renovation may be an example if you have a old school or a office building that the contractors or developers are going to gut and then convert that into maybe a mixed use space where there's stores on the bottom floor and apartment units on the upper floors, or you're basically changing the original intended purpose of a building to be used for a different intended purpose. So you may be converting a bank into a school. So that is some examples of what we would consider major renovation. If you're going to be changing a lot of the mechanics, the interior walls, lighting, and things of that nature of a building, that's something we could consider or will consider major renovations. And as always, if you're not sure, you can always ask us, hey, is this project new construction or major renovation? So one of the benefits and options that we offer for new construction and major renovation projects are our technical support, and we offer incentives for the owners and design firms. So let's say you have a project, you have purchased land or purchased land, you have permits, you have blueprints, and now you are in the phase where you are beginning to design out the interior of the building. You're now meeting with your mechanical and electrical engineers, or your design firm may be handling that. You can meet with us, the Pepco Delmarva team, and we can walk you through that process and also explain to you from the lens of energy efficiency. Hey, these are the types of equipment you should consider installing that will allow you to receive an incentive, or these are the types of equipment that will qualify for the program. Within that program, there are also different avenues. We have 2 avenues in terms of energy efficiency with the medium and large size or C&I program, which is prescriptive and custom. Prescriptive is something that you already know the savings for, and custom is something that you know you're not sure what the savings is. So for example, if you are cooking or making something, you have instructions, you have a recipe, that's something prescriptive because you know what exactly goes in it and you know what you're going to use. Custom would be, I have some ingredients to make something and I know what I'm going to make, but I don't have an actual blueprint for how this is going to get done. That is a custom. So one of the avenues a lot of customers take advantage of first, which is we often refer to as low-hanging fruit, is prescriptive projects such as lighting. So lighting is, if you're thinking about energy efficiency, always consider looking at your lighting and HVAC units first. So lighting and HVAC is a path you can go down through major renovations in terms of prescriptive projects. Another option, which we mentioned before, custom projects. So custom is something that is more specialized, like getting your clothes tailored. It's more custom, specialized, and fit just for you. So some of those options are building controls, specialized chiller systems. If it's a much larger building and it's going to have a very complex HVAC unit, those are the types of projects that we would consider custom. And now in the lens of energy efficiency, you have a lot of people building LEED certified buildings. So those are very energy efficiency buildings that are going to use way less energy than a traditional building. So if you're building something and you're pursuing some type of energy efficiency standards in terms of the buildings, and depending on where you live, certain counties have certain rules in terms of energy efficiency, you should definitely think about pursuing incentives through the custom program. And then in addition to that, we also offer comprehensive design support for these programs. Again, we have that initial meeting with the engineering firm, and then we have periodic meetings with them where we talk about where they are in the process, what do we need for pre-approval, and also offer our guidance and best informed opinions about options that they can go down in terms of energy efficiency. So one project that we were able to do that I want to highlight is the University of Maryland Capital Regional Medical Center. This was a hospital, and it was a custom new construction program. So this was a multi-phase project where at the end of this, they received a total incentive of about $500,000. So they were adding a new chiller plant to the hospital. There were 50-ton chillers, and there were about 8 of those. And then in addition to that, as you all know, hospitals are typically really cold, so they have to keep it at a certain temperature. So they need running units. There was also a water-cooled chiller tower that then in turn cools down those chillers. I had the opportunity to go and visit this site. Very, very massive equipment, beautiful project, done very well. So this is another example of this is considered a large size business, and they had a custom project. They were building chillers to cool the hospitals, and they're much larger, at 500 tons. The average ton for a home or a business is much smaller than this. So these were very massive units in addition to the water-cooled towers. So they were able to receive 2 incentives for us. One, they received an incentive for installing the equipment, and then 2, after that, after they set up the equipment and optimized it to run efficiently for the hospital, they were able to receive an additional incentive based off of, because they installed efficient equipment, now they're using it properly and saving energy. That is how they were able to receive another incentive. So with this project, again, they were able to receive about $500,000 in total incentives for this. Some of these projects like this are considered multi-phase projects, and they definitely take a little bit longer, but definitely worth the incentive and the goal in the end of saving energy and also being able to take advantage of those incentives. At this time, do we have any questions?
I do not. It seems very straightforward.
Oh, thank you, Trinity. If you do have additional questions, and this slide deck will be shared with you all. If you are in the PEPCO territory, this is where you can go for small business as well as medium to large size business. And if you are in the Delmarva territory, this is where you can go to find out more information about the program. Okay, and then actually I do have a question. So so like I guess we would want, if we want to like apply for these I guess grants or initiatives, is that something we'll do through the Delmarva Power website or the website? Yeah, so I can connect you with one of our account executives and they can walk you through the process. Our projects on the commercial C&I side do require pre-approval, and the pre-approval process is 4 simple steps. We have an online portal where applications everything is fully electronic, so you don't have to worry about mailing any information to us. But the main key things are having equipment that qualifies, having a service provider who's registered with the program, and then providing spec sheets. And we'll also need your account number, or the 4 simple things we'll need to get started with the application. And to see, I guess, to have the information of I guess what like equipment, you know, I guess is under the program, that's also online too, right? Yeah, so that those sheets are called our technical sheets, and they provide a very detailed breakdown of, let's say you're thinking about a water heater, it will provide the technical requirements of these are the small, these are the medium-sized water heaters, and then these are the efficiencies that they must meet. So certain equipment for lighting, for example, can either be Energy Star listed or DLC listed. And then if it's not lighting, the equipment would either need to be Energy Star listed or have to meet a minimum efficiency. So that is listed on our website in terms of on the technical sheet. If you tell me, or do you know what type of equipment you have in mind, and I can just send that information directly to you? I do not. However, our building in Maryland, we are trying to convert it into more of like a lab spaces, and that's something that we haven't done before. So I think maybe this could be a great opportunity to, you know, see if we can, I don't know, qualify. But of course, I definitely need to run this through my manager. But I think this is something that we can continue having a conversation about. Oh yes, most definitely for a lab. Very those can be some very energy intensive equipment and processes. So yeah, there's definitely some areas to save you money and provide incentives if it's you're setting up or converting the building to a lab type space. Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Well, I have the information, and if I have any questions, I will definitely, I guess, reach out. If you can provide me the account executive information, that'd be great. Okay, yeah, I will.
You can type your name in the chat or in the question box, and we'll have a direct outreach to you. And for everybody that's on the call, if you would like a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, if you look at the tab that's on your right, you can download the presentation right now, as well as the incentive sheets for the different programs. It's under the handout tab that's on your right. Awesome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, I see we are at time. I want to thank everyone for taking time out of your morning to connect with us and learn more about the program. And as always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm sure there is a way. Cliff or I or anyone else from the team can find a way to save you money to take advantage of the Empower Maryland program. Thank you all so much.